Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your man Kevin Johnson over at jkevinjohnson.com. I just wanted to talk about today. I want to talk about the importance of staying encouraged, staying upbeat, encouraged, uplifted, inspired in a culture, in a world, in a time, in a society where it's fear based. A society that propagandizes and is highly designed, and in a culture that often uses fear as a means to influence, versus when you cross over, when you change your perspective about life, when you come into a relationship with Christ. You come into a kingdom of heaven culture. You come into a culture where it's based in love and in abundance and in prosperity. So you don't have to be in fear. You don't have to be discouraged, but you can on a day-to-day basis wake up encouraged, uplifted, upbeat, just not with the heart and mind of gratitude and thankfulness, and a soul that's just ready to explore and uncover and discover what the Father has for you at any moment given in time or any day. So today I just wanted to just speak a few words of life, just talking about and discussing how to stay encouraged and inspired. Well, actually, if you stick around for the show, but at the end of the show, I'm going to talk about 4 tactics that you can implement in your life that will help you stay encouraged and uplifted. And they're very simple, very cheap, but they're very effective and powerful. But before we go there, I just wanted to speak a few moments on being encouraged and uplifted. And this is something that is very close to my heart, in that there was a time in my life where I wasn't so encouraged and upbeat and uplifting, and there was a time in my life where I was kind of down and out and in my feelings, so to speak, with respect to how I viewed life and how I felt a lot in life growing up, and just experiencing the way I used to experience troubles and hard circumstances and situations. So today's show is very close to my heart, in that hopefully that what I say here, what is expounded here, will help you stay uplifted and upbeat and encouraged with respect to life, and how to go about living a good, happy, abundant life. So like I said, it's very important that we stay and that we look to do this, because if you don't, it's very easy to fall prey to the designs of our culture and our society. And in saying this, I'm thinking about I always keep what book is this? I always keep this book, Propaganda, by Edward Bernays, right beside me whenever I do a lot of these. It's a small book, and it's powerful, and I just my degree is in sociology, and I study and I look at and I research sociology, psychology. I look at a number of things with respect to pop culture, and I'm always looking and examining and just kind of watching and giving my little 2-cent commentary with a Christian spin, or from a Christian perspective. But just looking at this book, Propaganda, I always like to go to the first page of the book. What's that? Chapter 1. Let me read chapter 1. This always gets me every time. Every time I read it, I try not to read it a lot, but it just helps me with, as far as crystallizing some things whenever I look at the culture and look at what takes place in the world that we live in, and that a lot of messages that we receive on a day-to-day basis, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, a lot of it is spun, I guess you could say. It's weaponized. It's by design. It's not created haphazardly. Believe you me, there's a panel, there's a guy or gal somewhere when they copyright or when they write copy or when they put together an advertisement. It's just not by happenstance. These people don't get paid big bucks just to throw something together. You know, it's by design that your heart strings are plucked and that your mind, the thoughts in your mind are held captive, and there are messages that are placed gently right in the slot they want to place it in, as far as your mind and what you think about and meditate on, and then what you imagine on, and what eventually leads to behavior. What you feel translates to what you think about, and what you think about translates to how you feel, and then it goes on down and carries out through your will. Does that make sense? Through your will, it carries out through your behavior, through your hands. It becomes manifest, and then your life, what you see in your life is a printout. What you see in your outward verse, your outward world, is a printout of what is going on in the inner world, in the inner you. So let me read this real quick. Organizing chaos, the conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses, is an important element in the democratic society. So those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of our country. We are governed, our minds molded, our taste formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men who we have never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized. I'll stop here. He goes further, and then you can just read the book. But I just like reading that from time to time because it reminds me that the world in which we see is highly designed. You know, not every nook and cranny may not be, but believe you me, when you walk into that friendly grocery store, when you walk into that friendly corner coffee shop, when you walk into that nice boutique, when you go to that nice place that you like to go to, believe you me, that the designer had a purpose in mind. To get you from point A and convert you stepping through those doors and converting you to whichever way and however way they want you converted. Most of the time it's when you walk through those doors is how do I convert this walk through these doors to a transaction of some sort in which a register is being opened and money is being exchanged. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to keep this in mind. So I don't want to go too far off trail, but it's essential that you do all that is within your capability, powers, and means to stay uplifted and encouraged. Because if you don't, you will fall victim to the current of culture, which is one of fear, mainly fear, but it's fear-based and poverty-based, versus a kingdom of heaven culture is one of abundance and love and prosperity, peace, all that, all the good stuff. So you gotta work. You gotta put some effort in keeping this in mind. Let me read a few verses to kind of talk about this. There are three things that I wanted to focus on when it comes to being encouraged. Number one, it's essential that you keep your relationship with the Father through his Son, Jesus Christ, very strong. You got to have an intimate relationship with the Father, in such that He speaks to your heart, and that when you come across other believers, when they speak words of encouragement to you, they are words of confirmation of what you already know and experience on a daily basis, versus words of revelation in which you never knew. It's like, I didn't know about all this. What you talking about? But you want to have an intimate relationship in which you are, in whatever form the Creator talks to you and speaks to you and gets messages to you, that they are word. You want to make sure that your relationship is such that you receive them, and they encourage you and uplift and edify you to keep on going and keep pursuing the life that He has deemed worthy, and has deemed the best for you. Let me go to Joshua 1:9. Joshua 1:9, real quick. We'll go through some of these verses to help you along the way. It helps me along my way. Joshua 1:9. 1:9. Joshua, where you at? Got my Bible open here. My computer Bible, anyway. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. So this is God reminding Joshua that He is with him, and He's telling him, be strong. Haven't I commanded you? Didn't I tell you? Just be strong, man. I'm with you, and of good courage. Be not afraid. The Lord God is with you. Well, actually, this is Moses. This is Moses talking to Joshua, and this is God talking through Moses. But we'll see here. Be strong. Yep. This is Moses talking to Joshua, actually. And he's telling him to remember all that he saw with him, and what God has spoken to him, spoken to Moses, spoken to him through Moses. But later on, you'll see where Moses goes off the scene, and you'll see where Joshua has an actual encounter, and that the same words are spoken to be encouraged and be strong. We won't go there, but you can find it in the book of Joshua. John 15:4. Let's go to John 15:4. Talking about you got to do what you got to do to stay encouraged. And what that means is, number one, you gotta stay in an intimate relationship with the Creator, whether being through prayer, being through daily devotions, being through reading, whatever it means. And actually, here's 15:4, John 15:4, right here. Here we go. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can you except ye abide in me. So it's important, it's essential that you spend some time abiding in Christ, meaning you spend some time meditating and contemplating and getting some quiet time where you conversate, you talk, and you read and you listen and you think about and you praise and you worship, and you that's how you open your heart and your mind to Him. So this is how you stay encouraged in a world gone mad. Let's go to Psalm 42:11. Psalm 42:11. Speaking words of hope to you today, words of encouragement, because it could be pretty hard. It could be pretty tough to stay upbeat and encouraged in a world today, in this environment, in this society today. 42:11. Let me go there real quick. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in God, for I shall yet praise him. I just talked about that. Who is the health? Who is the health of my countenance and my God? Wow. So, countenance, talking about how, let's see, the face. So you can tell when somebody's encouraged by looking at their face, right? So we don't want to walk around with sorrowful looking faces, looking discouraged and hopeless and worry filled and anxious. But we want to when you place your hope, your faith and trust in God, and you abide in him on a day-to-day basis, you can't help but keep a peaceful calm about you, a calm countenance that is of good health. You can't help but have good care, be edified and encouraged. So you want to spend time and stay in his face. You want to give him praise. Take the focus off you and your situation and put your focus back on the one who can handle it. So with that, number one, you got to stay encouraged. You got to stay in an intimate relationship for yourself. Number two, I want to talk about is you want to surround yourself with encouraging people and messages as much as you possibly can. Let's go to Romans 12:2 on that one. Relationships are important these days. And the older I get, the more I realize how important it is to really put forth an effort and make it a priority to connect with and continually talk to people that I think or I see are exemplifying a lifestyle, an attitude, an existence that I want. People who are living and on a regular basis, and even though everybody goes through tough times and sometimes you do get discouraged, but they're able to bounce back, and they just always seem to have more encouraged days than they do discouraged days. There's a lot of people out there, including me. I used to be there, where it would seem like I would have more discouraged days in which I felt like I wasn't getting much done, accomplished, or I felt like I was just a waste, felt depressed and dealt with some things like that. So you want to surround yourself with good, uplifting, upbeat messages, encouraging messages, and people. People can really have an impact on your life tremendously. So let's go to Romans 12:2 real quick. I'm just strolling through and speaking some words of encouragement and hope in your life. You got to get your daily dose. If you don't, it's real easy. It's real easy to get caught up in the current. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. And be not conformed. You gotta take your mind out of this world and start allowing it to be transformed on a daily basis, on a regular basis, with the messages that the word speaks into your life. I posted a little Facebook post today saying that allow the labels of the Creator to rest over your life, meaning that you're beautiful, you're bountiful, you're blessed, you are appreciated, loved, you are precious, you are an apple in His eye. You're all that. You're all that in a bag of chips to Him. To Him, you're in His image. You're an imager of Him. These are good things. You were meant. He's designed you with purpose. You're not an accident. You're not here by chance. You're here with a purpose and by design. You have meaning. So these are messages you want to bombard yourself with on a regular basis, and believe it and walk in it. And believe me, your whole attitude will change. it would be hard for you to come discouraged. Actually, it would be more easy for you to be encouraged, and uplifted, and inspired and motivated. Not to say that you're not human and you don't go through things, and that life doesn't happen to you, but when it does, you are more resilient. Your heart is more resilient. Your mind is resilient. Your body is resilient. Let's go to Colossians 3:16. I know I'm reading a lot of scripture, but this is what sustains me, and it's going to sustain you. Colossians 3:16. Let me go there real quick. Not going to take up a lot of your time. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms. This is what I'm talking about with people and relationships. Psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. Going to music. One of the practices that I've implemented in my life is making sure that I have good, inspirational, inspiring, encouraging, uplifting music going at all times, just to help that heart out. Singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. So I just wanted to look at that one. Well, let's go to Colossians 3:15, the verse above it. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which ye are called in one body, and be thankful. And then it goes down, let the word of Christ dwell in you. So in order for you to let the word of Christ dwell in you, you got to read the word and get it in you. So that means you got to abide and spend some time, and get around people who abide and spend time too. That helps out a whole lot. So in saying all this, we don't have a lot of time for distractions. There's not a lot of room or margin for distractions and things that don't add any kind of value to your life whatsoever. Now, okay, there's nothing wrong in having frivolous or frivolous or things that are just meaningless in your life. Little playful stuff in your life. There's nothing wrong with that. That you gotta have that. That's a part of life too. But at the same time, make sure that you make full and with purpose. Fill your life up with things that's gonna satiate your soul and keep you obsessed and consumed with the things of the Father, and living a beautiful and abundant and joyful, peaceful life. Let's go to Ephesians 5:19 real quick. Ephesians 5:19, talking about being encouraged and living an inspiring, uplifted, upbeat life. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks, verse 20, always for all things to God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, submitting yourselves one to another, verse 21, in the fear of God. So this is talking about relationships, talking about self, and being in fellowship with those who often have encouraging words to say. I guess one way I can kind of simplify this is like, take for example going to work and going to the water cooler or whatever and taking a little break. Sometimes at some in the past jobs I've had, I've found myself, I would just listen to people, and a lot of it is negative and discouraging. And I've come in contact with a lot of people, and that after I leave their presence, I'm so down and out. It's like, man, I want to quit and go stand in the unemployment line by the time they get done with me, So just talking about the power of influence and the power of others to influence how you feel and think and behave. It's very essential It's very important. This is the second key I'm talking about as far as being encouraged and staying encouraged, is that you got to surround yourself with people who are uplifting, upbeat, and always looking for that silver lining in that dark cloud, because it's real easy to go negative real fast, and we don't want that. That's the way of the culture. Number 3, it's important that you do this, stay uplifted and encouraged, not only for yourself, but for others. You are a tree of life for others. You are a tree for others to glean on. You are a source for others to come by and get that whatever that spiritual food that they need. So you got to make sure you keep yourself uplifted so you can uplift others. You got to keep yourself strong so that you can help others in times of needs. Romans 15:1-6. Romans 15:1-6. Let me go there real quick. Romans 15:1-6. I'll just read 1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak and not to please ourselves. Go to verse 2 real quick. Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. Edification means to architecture. That is structure, confirmation, edify, to build. So, and that's what encouragement means, to build up. So we're meant to not only have a relationship with the Father, to stay encouraged, to surround ourselves with, to purposefully surround yourself with uplifting people, but you do this in order to ultimately do the same for others. You ultimately do this so that you can be a place, a source for people to come to in times of need. It often puts me in the mindset. I can remember when I was younger, and I was going, and I had a great aunt, and she since passed, but she would often encourage me and place words of hope in me, even when I really didn't think that I needed it. But now that I think about it in retrospect and in hindsight, 2020, man, she was really, 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 really pouring into me in such a way that it has sustained me. It has changed and helped transform my character into such that actually, she passed the mantle on to me, to be honest. That's why I do these podcasts, actually. Talking about encouragement. She encouraged me to the point that she helped inspire and transform me into a person that speaks encouraging words often. It's in my she put it in my DNA, actually. I can't do anything else. It's no point. There's so much negativity out there. There's so much discouraging things out there that, I don't want to add to that. I want to add to the other side. I want you to have a good life. When you're doing good, everybody's doing good. It's just a good life. When you get past the negativity, when you get past the discouragement, then you can really start living life and just enjoying it for what it is. It's too much goodness and too much. It's too much beauty out there. Just enjoy it. Let go and let live and just go live live life and enjoy this time here as much as you humanly possibly can. And I'm saying that with respect to, time and chance happens to us all. We all go through tests. We all go through storms. But in that process, make sure you fill the gaps in with good times. Fill the gaps in with good times. So I just wanted to take a few moments to kind of talk about being encouraged and doing what you can to do that. Before I get off here, I'm going to talk about 3 simple tactics to stay encouraged and upbeat. Number 1, listen. Listen to good music, listen to good people, listen to good speeches, listen to good podcasts, listen to the Bible that speaks good messages. Listen. Let it, wherever you can find a good and hopeful, inspiring, encouraging message, listen to it. There's enough. Negativity is the automatic. Discouragement is the automatic. Fear is the automatic. Keep that stuff to a minimum in your life and work and make it a priority to find good things to listen to. Number 2, get good sleep. I got this from the book. What book was that? Lights Out. Talks about the power of sleep and feeling good and staying upbeat and encouraged. Another one is The Primal Blueprint by Mark Sisson. He talks about it. Sleep Smart by Sean Stevenson. The power of sleep is very important as far as reset and getting your hormones back in balance and in check, which helps you feel good. We all know, I don't know if you've experienced this, but there's something about going to a hotel and sleeping in one of those nice big beds. When you wake up, when you get that good hotel sleep, you wake up feeling good. I tell you what, you wake up feeling like you can just walk on top of water for real. You know, so you want to wake up like that every day. You want to wake up like that inspired, encouraged, and hopeful and calm, but peaceful, collected, just feeling like you can take on the world every day, and that's possible. So that's number 2. Number 3, get some good food and get some good dessert with that good food. I'm telling you, ain't nothing like eating a good steak or a good quinoa or whatever. If you're a vegan or vegetarian, I don't know, but get some good get some good farm fresh food. I worked at an organic farm for a while, time ago, and there's something about eating good farm fresh food. There's something about actually being on the farm, working in an open air barn, and just being close to the earth and to the land. There's something about it. And it helps you stay upbeat and encouraged, believe it or not. So get you some good food, and along with that good food, make sure you throw in some dessert. Now I sectioned off dessert by itself because we want to make sure that we do some portion controls on that. But you want to make sure you throw in some good dessert, whatever your dessert may be. Now for me, it is chocolate chip ice cream. Graters. I don't know why it is, but it just is. So, get you something in every now and then. Life's too short. Be encouraged, feel good, eat good, and do all that goodness. And number 4, did I say 3? If I did, I've been throwing a 4th one. I know I thought I said 4, but this is a bonus one if I didn't, is to play. This is easy to do as a child, but it seems for a lot of people it's harder to do when they get older. And to play simply means to kind of throw your inhibitions to the side and just kind of do things that you normally wouldn't do as an adult, For me, one of the things I do is I play with my sons. I take them to the skate park, and you might find me on a scooter getting up on one of those half pikes and doing all kinds of stuff and acting crazy and just riding around and just enjoying life. Life's too short. Enjoy it. So play around every now and then. Get on a trampoline and jump and do flips and jump on your back. Fall on the bed. When you go to a hotel, just fall backwards on the bed a few times. Play a little bit. So that's a part of life. That helps encourages you and helps you stay upbeat and uplifted. So this is Kevin over at jkevinjohnson.com talking about it's essential that you make sure that you do what you got to do to stay encouraged, uplifted, inspired, and upbeat in a world gone mad. Thanks for joining me. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Patreon. You can find me pretty much on all kinds of places. So thanks for joining me. Let me know that you're out there. Get a message to me in some way, shape, or form. I look forward to talking to you all very, very, very soon. May His face shine on you and give you peace.